Who would have thought you could make everything in the world out of 12 gauge aluminum wire? I'm going to build a house out of this next. Anyway, let's make a ring. I worked some of the kinks out and I found out a way to make it smoother. My first attempt at a ring was a little bit beat up, but I don't even remember how much to take either. So let's take this much. What is that? It's 10.5 inches. It's like 22 centimeters. So first we're just going to hammer the whole piece. Just get yourself a baby anvil. You can get these at Babies R Us. They're made for if you want your baby to become a blacksmith early on. Get yourself a piece of leather and a hunk of wood or anything soft, and then anything firm under that, and then just put it on your lap and hammer it. You can hammer it with your fist. I've tried that. It ends up hurting my fist more than flattening the wire, so now I'm using a hammer. I found this hammer out in the backyard somewhere. Let's do this. I've been hammering on the anvil, all the little on anvil. I've been hammering on the anvil. Now get your pliers. You can use round nose or flat nose for this. Just start to slowly make. Come on, camera, focus. There we go. Slowly make little teeny tiny curves. Trying to get it very round, turning it into a circle. Go very carefully and gently, and if you feel like one part isn't round, go fix it. And get yourself a pretty 6mm stone bead. Doesn't have to be 6mm. It doesn't have to be the same stone. This is malachite. All natural, striped green, really pretty. But you want to do is, as you're getting it close, you're aiming to get it the same size as the stone for this first part. You want it to really curl in. Take your time with this part. This is a very important part. It's gonna be the part people are looking at the most. Just enjoy every little bit of it. Really get it into a nice circle. Thank you, camera, for finally showing us. I mentioned on the other video, if you use your round nose, because they're tapered, it'll start to coil it up in a funnel, which can be helpful. Now try your bead. That's what you want. You want it to sit up there, not fall through. Now we're gonna just kind of press it, see if we can get, whoop, popped it through. That's good. That's also good, because we want it to be right about good enough to hug the stone. So that's good like that. You want to crack the stone or pop the stone across the floor. Be careful, but actually it's pretty hard to crack one of these stones. Pretty strong. But once you have your circle pretty much how you want it, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to really try to get close to pretty nice. Let's just say nice. And you can start to roll it more. How much you want to roll it depends on you. It's how wide out you want the top of the ring to go. I feel like that's pretty good. Now we're going to turn it. I'm going to turn this very gently. So it's starting to twist. Get a ring mandrel, pick a size. I'm going to do 7, that's pretty standard. And I'm going to gently wrap it around my ring mandrel. And gently come back up. And I'm coming around the other side, and then I'm going to start wrapping again. Well, actually, no, I'm going to try to remember how I did this. I'm going to come around like this. Still trying to keep very, very gentle, fluid movements. And now, how much do I want? I'm going to make a little scroll on the end here. So I don't want too much. I still want it to be kind of pretty. Let's do that. Now, we're going to take our round nose. You can test it occasionally now and then. Make sure it's still holding your stone the way you want it to, just right. So it kind of sits in there, but it doesn't fall through. But it also won't roll right off. And so we're going to roll this backwards with the tiniest part of the round nose pliers. This is just relaxing and fun. Just go slow. Press hard, press tight, because you don't want to scratch. If you slip, you're going to scratch the coating off, and it's bare aluminum underneath is silver colored. So then you scratch off that antique copper color, and it's going to look a little bit eh. That's a real adjective, a real technological term. It's called eh, spelled E-H-H. Sometimes with 3 H's if you really mean it. Sorry, I'm going off camera a little bit. When I use a lot of muscle, I pull it in towards my chest, and it goes right off camera, and then I realize you guys aren't watching. Voila. This a little bit tighter in there. A little bit, there we go. Just like that. And put it back on the mandrel. Make sure it's still a 7. Make sure everything is kind of tight and sweet and pretty. And we're going to take some antique copper colored 26 gauge. It's a little bit, we don't need too much. Take about maybe 7 inches. The bead in the middle of the wire. And we're just going to crimp it like that. Just bring the 2 ends together. Boom, that's it. Put both ends down into the ring. Roll it till the prettiest part of the stone is showing. And watch how easy this is. Now we're just going to wrap right here. Not only does it hold the stone on, but it holds this part together. So nobody can snag it and get rid of it. And we're going to wrap it just really tight. Pull it. Use your pliers if you need. Get it very, very tight. Or as the Ecuadorians like to say, tight, very tight. Or maybe that's the Scandinavians. So I don't speak much Scandinavia, but I studied it back in the day. Now you can have some fun with this. If you take more of your 26 gauge wire, you can actually roll this out and you can wrap this and have it like do a cool weaving wrap for a while. But I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to have this tucked in. It's just going to come, I came around about twice with the double strand. And now here's another thing you can do. You could just cut it off, bunch it up in a couple knots, shove it in there, throw some E6000. Or you could come out like this, or here, any which way you want. You can take each of these, and if you want them to look, you could take thicker wire than this. It would look good with 24, 22, even 20. And take each of these little strands and start coiling it into a little baby swirl. So this will have like multiple swirls. See that little baby swirl forming? See that? Now what to do with these guys. Make them a little tighter. And you can just kind of put them right there. Put them anywhere you want. Move them around. If you feel it enhances the ring, and just put a little drop of E6000 right there. Because they will be snagged. You don't want them to just get snagged, then the whole thing will start unraveling. So you can do that, and that looks pretty. You can stagger them, have one kind of sticking out more in a different spot than the other. You could unroll it and have them like coming down a little bit. Me, I'm going to keep it simple, and I'm just going to take both of them and shove them down in here. So I'm going to unravel them a little bit. No one will ever get to see this prettiness. You saw it, and so you can testify that it exists. But me, I'm just going to take both of these and shove them down in here and put a little drop of E6000. Wipe that off. That was a bit much. I didn't need that much. None is showing on this side, so we're good. And I have a little bit of an opening right there, a little bit of a crevice. That usually doesn't happen. That's cool. I'm happy with this. One thing I almost forgot, this is the most fun part. You should do this before the stone. You can push your pliers closed into the hole and push it up and it'll fan out these layers. But I'm going to do it now with the stone and see if it'll still work. Just carefully. I'm just going to press, and yep, it's working. Just press into, and then you get like this cool 3D effect where they pop up over the edge. You can do the same with this swirl too. You can go down or up. Sometimes if you put one down and one up, it looks cool. It's like a cool effect. I'm going to go up with this one though. You can use your round nose too. See that? You get a cool 3D effect. Let's push it a little more. Now the stone's a little higher than I wanted. Push that stone back. There we go, that's better, I like that. And if you're worried, you can put a little E6000 around the stone too to really hold it in place. The wire is really where the strength is, but tiny bit of E6000, if it's just wobbling, doesn't hurt. Just get that in there. Just wipe off the excess so it doesn't get all gummy and thick. And plus it dries really fast if you wipe it thin. If you leave it thick, it could take like 10 minutes for a gob of it to dry. You rub it thin and it rubs off your hands too, like super glue. It's not really good to leave on your skin, but a couple seconds here and there shouldn't hurt too much. You know, I've been in the hospital a couple times for having too much E6000 on me, but you know, like hospital visits build character, I feel like. There we go, I'm still picking with it a little bit. Get it just right. Super fun though, isn't it? Super pretty.